Hello, you are watching yet another installment in an exciting series that will surprise you with stories of individual towns and communities that make Indiana such a unique place. We will uncover the special combination of history, people, and culture that have shaped these towns and given them an edge over other places, the Indiana Edge. Welcome, I'm your host, Taylor Whitaker. Today we will travel to Tippecanoe County in the west central part of the state to the home of Purdue University, West Lafayette. Here's a quick view of current city statistics. Well, to understand where West Lafayette is now, we must first understand where it's been.
As early as 1823, there was a ferry that allowed people to cross from Lafayette into what is on this side of the river, not known as West Lafayette at that point. And I think that allowed people to engage in trade and business. But basically, since it was still not that easy to get across the Wabash, the development that started on that side of the river, I think, took off, and it was much more sporadic on this side of the river.
But why was it so difficult? In fact, the area was largely shadowed by the pre-existing city of Lafayette and was situated in the middle of the floodplains. Thus, success was not favored. So enters Augustus Wiley and his grand experiment.
In 1836, of course, Augustus Wiley made his experiment with starting West Lafayette. And as far as we know, there maybe one house was constructed, but it was down on what is now it's the floodplain. So it didn't have, it just didn't have a future.
However, Wiley's experiment wasn't over yet. He was certainly on track. The town just needed to move to higher ground, out of the floodplain. Although we cannot give full credit to Wiley for the creation of West Lafayette, we can agree that he, in addition to the Lutz and Chauncey families, made up a team that brought the city to life.
In 1855, the Lutzes founded a town called Kingston, and a few years after that, 1860, the Chauncey family from Philadelphia founded what was called Chauncey.
When we return, we'll reveal how West Lafayette became what it is today. This is Indiana Edge.
And with Uverse, you can move your TV anywhere in the house.
We're happy with Xfinity. Why would we move the TV?
I don't know, but let me show you. Now, if you had the Uverse wireless receiver, you could take this anywhere. See? Anywhere you want.
Don't get duped by Uverse. Get the most entertainment on any device anywhere with Xfinity from Comcast.
I worked some long hours keeping my clients wrinkle-free, and back when I had satellite, that meant falling behind on my shows. So I switched to Xfinity. It's perfect for me because it lets me download my on-demand shows so I can watch anywhere. See? I have all my dramas, my food shows, and of course all my comedies.
Where do we come up with this stuff?
Don't settle for satellite. Xfinity lets you download shows to your mobile devices. Perfect for people who can't always be home.
Welcome back to Indiana Edge, where we take a close look at cities and towns around Indiana and discover how they make Indiana unique. We continue our journey in West Lafayette with a look at how the city got its name.
And what I find so fascinating is that in 1871, Chauncey asked to be annexed by Lafayette. And there was a really good reason, and I think it speaks to the history of this place. There were so many people who were coming to be part of this new experiment that the people sort of outran the infrastructure. And people in Chauncey were fearful that, there's just no way they could keep up with all of the needs of a growing population. This brand new university, all the students coming in.
In a shocking rebuttal to this request, however, Lafayette said no, fearful that Purdue University would be unsuccessful.
If Purdue turns out to be a white elephant, we don't want to have to pay for it. So it wasn't until 1888 then that the town became chartered as a town, and it was named West Lafayette. So West Lafayette is kind of a turning point of 1888. And then there's a period from the 1890s to the 1920s where West Lafayette began to grow into a modern city. And I've been reading the historic records from the 1890s. They're fascinating. Almost every single meeting, 1890, 1891, they're talking about which streets need to be repaired and graded, and where they're going to lay the sewer lines, and how they're going to have the railroad tracks. They got a waterworks up and going in 1891. And then there's just this burst of activity in the teens and 20s with the founding of WBAA radio, so they're connected to the outside world. The opening of the West Lafayette Public Library in the same year, I think about a month apart, they both opened. I've noticed in the 1920s there was a building spurt in a neighborhood that now is considered one of the older neighborhoods, the New Chauncey. That was the hip and cool place to be. All of these modern bungalows were being constructed, and they were advertised as such, that you don't have to be in these stuffy old Victorians. You can be in an open, airy, modern bungalow close in proximity to Purdue.
And so it goes. Purdue University was indeed founded May 6, 1869, and opened for classes in 1874. It's only flourished in the years since, and today boasts top international enrollment rates among U.S. public universities and is a breeding ground of inventors, Nobel Prize winners, astronauts, and more.
In short, I think that the history of West Lafayette, especially from the 1940s on, has been an effort to accommodate all of the people who have come to be part of Purdue University.
We'll be right back after these messages.
If Usain Bolt represents Xfinity Internet, what happens when we double the speed on two of our most popular plans? Meet his twice as fast brother, Insane Bolt. Now stream movies and shows twice as fast. Xfinity, the fastest just got faster.
And with Uverse, you can move your TV anywhere in the house.
We're happy with Xfinity. Why would we move the TV?
I don't know, but let me show you. Now, if you had the Uverse wireless receiver, you could take this anywhere. See? Anywhere you want.
Don't get Youped by Uverse. Get the most entertainment on any device anywhere with Xfinity from Comcast.
If Usain Bolt represents Xfinity Internet, what happens when we double the speed on two of our most popular plans? Meet his twice as fast brother, Insane Bolt. Now stream movies and shows twice as fast. Xfinity, the fastest just got faster.
Welcome back to another installment of Indiana Edge. We've traveled today to discover the city of West Lafayette. Specifically, let's focus our attention on Purdue University as the home of the Purdue Research Foundation.
So the foundation actually began in 1930. It was started by two well-known entrepreneurs in the state of Indiana, a fellow by the name of Ross, who was a farmer and entrepreneur, and Lilly in 1930 also put $25,000 each into the foundation. And their purpose, their interest, was in helping the university's technology and know-how make it into the hands of people that could benefit through commerce.
And what a benefit the foundation has been, not only to the people it serves, but to the reputation of the university as a whole. Listen to these testimonials. One of the reasons I came to Purdue was because of its reputation in helping faculty entrepreneurs. When I wanted to commercialize my discoveries, they helped me secure patents, find a CEO, and develop a business plan. Through the Purdue Research Park, we've effectively translated discoveries from the laboratory into commercial realization. This creates jobs, helps further the research of innovations, and provides opportunities for our students. With all of this remarkable invention and technological advancement happening here, might we have the next Silicon Valley in our backyard?
People are now calling this the cradle of commerce. I'm hoping not too long from now they will start thinking this place is Startup City. And why not? It's not like Silicon Valley. In Silicon Valley, there are a lot of out-of-work entrepreneurs constantly looking for companies to start, and 9 times out of 10, they're software or code-based. Fine companies. Google's great, Yahoo's great, Uber's great, I get that. But that's not what we are here. This is an engineering school, a chemistry school, an ag school, a physics school. We build things, we make things. That's what Indiana is. Those are different kinds of startups.
Speaking of startups, Purdue fostered 48 startups in 2014. 50% of those startups were Purdue IP licensed, and the other 50% were non-licensed IPs. Additionally, an entrepreneur or company has a greater chance at product launch for less expense than those in the same business on either coast.
But what we spend a lot of time thinking about with our entrepreneurs here is if you don't have to give away equity in your company and you can bootstrap it, far better than a patent and a VC is a product and an invoice. Let's get to product and invoice quickly and keep your company whole. That's something we can do in Indiana that differentiates us from both coasts.
For more information about available positions, investing in a Purdue startup, or licensing a Purdue innovation, visit PurdueFoundry.com. We'll be right back.
I worked some long hours keeping my clients wrinkle-free, and back when I had satellite, that meant falling behind on my shows. So I switched to Xfinity. It's perfect for me because it lets me download my on-demand shows so I can watch anywhere. See? I have all my dramas, my food shows, and of course all my comedies.
Where do they come up with this stuff?
Don't settle for satellite. Xfinity lets you download shows to your mobile devices. Perfect for people who can't always be home.
Wood Innovative Group LLC, video and multimedia production, single camera, multi-camera, live, post-edit, everything. Click wigtv.com.
We've traveled today to discover the city of West Lafayette, where we'll now visit a local business and city favorite, XXX Family Restaurant.
Started in 1895 down in Galveston, Texas, and it was kind of a lead-in to Prohibition. The beer manufacturer down there called Southern Beverage was trying to find a replacement so that they could keep their people busy down, so they developed, along with another well-known firm with the name of Anheuser-Busch. They went together and formed a soft drink line. So everything that they had in the beer line was with barrels that were marked XXX. The 3 X's meant high grade. And so that grading system, 1X was good, 2X's was better, 3X is the best. The highest grade is where the name XXX root beer, XXX root beer came from.
Fast forward to the 1910s and 20s, there are now well over 100 root beer stands around the country. Sadly, for most, time took its toll, but fortunately for Indiana, one remains.
This one was opened by Burt Wright in 1929, and as you can see in the outline of the sign here in this brown beam ahead of me, this is actual part of the original structure that was opened in 29, and the building has been expanded onto about 6 different times, but that is still part of the original structure. So that's all the bigger it was, and as all the bigger that most of them were around the country.
With changing times comes a change in patronage and appetites, and XXX has certainly adapted well.
As people and transportation developed and populations got a little bit more, they wanted to have a little bit more something besides just a root beer in their travels. That might have had a little something to eat. So about in the early 30s, 31, 32, this particular location started selling what we call chopstick sandwiches. Everybody else calls them hamburgers. And they started using ground sirloin to make their sandwiches with, which is a tradition that we continue with today. We grind it fresh every day, and any of the burgers, chopsticks that you see on the menu, that's how they're done.
Owners Greg and Carrie Erzman are the second generation of Erzmans who have owned the XXX Family Restaurant and have been instrumental in elevating its notoriety without sacrificing its product. XXX has been featured on diners, drive-ins, and dives, and bottles of its root beer are now on display at the Dr. Pepper Museum in Waco, Texas. Of course, we can't leave here without mentioning their infamous sandwich naming system.
Within the last 2 years, introduced our 2 first half-pound burgers. One named after Ryan Kerrigan, football great from Purdue University, who this idea came from him because it's what he and his roommates used to make in the wee hours of the morning after studying very hard, that they would make this half-pound burger just piled with chili, and oh man, it's a mess. I tell people when they eat it, I said, when you pick it up to eat it, just know that you're not going to put it back down, because once you do, it's really great, but it's messy, but it's a great sandwich.
During my talk with Greg, it was clear that while having a successful business is important, the product itself and the people served, no matter age or familiarity, will never be compromised.
My wife and I also purchased the XXX Root Beer Company in 2008, and immediately upon doing that, when we go to have our flavor base made, they started telling us, well, you know, you can get the same flavor and you can kind of downgrade the quality of the products that you're putting in, and you can still get that same flavor. And I'm just like, you know, my wife and I 100% in agreement. What does the recipe state? Well, it states this level. And why would we want to change that? Well, it's less expensive. If the recipe says this, these are the ingredients and they're the best of the best, that's what's going in it. Not unlike with our sandwiches. It is still top sirloin. We cut it and grind it here. It's fresh. We make everyone to order. We don't like slab up a bunch of frozen patties and throw them in the back and nuke them and send them out in a wrapper for you. What you order is before we start making it. So that's how that goes. And there again, to come forward with all the glass chinking in the background, you can't put that, you can put that product out all day long. If it's delivered poorly, it doesn't matter. So, you know, the constant reinforcement of good service, being friendly, use your personality to bring that to the table, and let someone have a complete experience with it. I mean, maybe that word's overused or whatever, but, you know, the people that came in here years ago, 20, 30, 40 years ago, the biggest compliment we get is, God, it tastes just like it did back then. Well, that tells me I'm doing my job right. Because I know what it tasted like then, because I was cutting it then. So I mean, I know that we've done our job well when we hold that line, and you go back to whatever hometown haunt that you loved as a child or as a young adult you go to. If you go back to that and it brings back all those memories and everything for you, that's what you want.
Whether or not another generation of the Ayersman family will take over someday is a whole other story. Check out www.xxxfamilyrestaurant.com for more on its history and accolades. We'll be right back.
Oh, remotes. You've had it tough. Watching TVs get sharper, bigger, smugger. And you? Rubbery buttons. Enter the X1 voice remote. Now when someone says,
"Show me funny movies,"
watch Discovery.
Record this.
Voila. Remotes come out from the cushions. You are back. The X1 voice remote is here.
And with Uverse, you can move your TV anywhere in the house.
We're happy with Xfinity. Why would we move the TV?
I don't know, but let me show you. Now, if you had the Uverse wireless receiver, you can take this anywhere. See? Anywhere you want.
Don't get youped by Uverse. Get the most entertainment on any device anywhere with Xfinity from Comcast.
We are back talking all things West Lafayette, Indiana. I'm your host, Taylor Whitaker, and this is Indiana Edge. We've seen how the community has grown and explored two of West Lafayette's economic drivers. We'll now visit two nonprofit organizations that demonstrate the city's commitment to all of its inhabitants. Our first stop, the Young Women's Christian Association.
Well, first of all, we're in our 86th year locally, so we've been here a long time. Without community support, I don't think we would have made it through that many decades. We're such an interesting organization because really we're a community center that does everything from Y dance to volleyball to aquatics. We have a wonderful natatorium here. We have a gymnasium, men's noon basketball. But everything we do advances our mission, and the two social service programs that we really focus on are our domestic violence program and our women's cancer program.
With a mission aimed at the elimination of racism, the empowerment of women, and the promotion of peace, justice, freedom, and dignity for all, this organization certainly has its work cut out for it, and Debbie sees that.
The United States would be at the top of the list for addressing women's issues, and we're not. We're somewhere between 17th and 25th on the list. A country like Iceland is first in the world, which is very interesting, I think. We haven't had a female president of the United States. There are many states that haven't had a female governor even. While women are much more involved in politics and certainly sit on boards, we still have less than a third of women sitting on corporate boards. So we have a ways to go in this country.
Debbie and her staff find solace in the daily battle they face with the current generation of young men and women.
This generation of women and men, I will say, they don't see skin color, which I just think is amazing. They don't have the gender bias. If one of their friends is in a gay relationship, it's not that they support or don't support. They don't think of that as anything different than the norm. I think that's amazing. I really do. I also think this generation of women really believe that they can do anything they want to do.
For more information on the many ways the YWCA helps the community, or to learn how to get involved, visit www.ywcalafayette.org. When we return, we'll visit Wolf Park and check in on our furry neighbors. This is Indiana Edge.
What if a home phone could also be a smartphone? And what if that home phone could save you money on your home and wireless bill at the same time? With Xfinity Voice, you get amazing technology like readable voicemail on your smartphone, caller ID on your TV, and even text messaging, all for a low price. Start saving with unlimited nationwide talk and text and switch to Xfinity Voice for just $19.99 a month for 12 months. Call 1-800-XFINITY today.
Almost done.
Now you can pay your bill, manage your appointments, and check your connection status. Anytime, anywhere.
Oh, so you're protesting? Okay.
Introducing Xfinity My Account, available on any device.
Wood Innovative Group LLC, video and multimedia production, single camera, multi-camera, live, post edit, everything. Click wigtv.com.
Welcome back to Indiana Edge. I'm your host, Taylor Whitaker. As we explore the city of West Lafayette, we have one more stop at an important nonprofit institution, Wolf Park.
Originally, it had a different name. It was the North American Wildlife Park Foundation, but we changed it legally a few years ago because it's known and has been known, and we call it Wolf Park ourselves. The emphasis came to be more and more on wolves, which are kind of a keystone species in the ecological sense, and they're also what is called one of the charismatic megafauna, large, impressive wild animals that people are very interested in and tend to have an impact on.
Founded in 1972 by Dr. Eric Klinghammer and his wife Suzanne, the park began operation as a place for ethological research and as a sanctuary for wolves. What transpired over the next 40-plus years is nothing short of inspiring.
In that sense, I've sometimes compared it to anthropology, but instead of going in and living in a human community and studying the humans, they would raise the animals in an environment where the animals treated them like part of their social group, and so it was possible to study them at very close quarters. And they reacted to you more as if you were one of their own kind, rather than the typical wild animal response to humans in the field, which is usually avoidance.
On October 6, 2011, Dr. Klinghammer passed away at age 81, a loss that Pat and other Wolf Park staff members are still working through for the sake of the animals, community, and world.
Yeah, that was hard, and in some ways I feel that we're still in transition. He was a man with a vision, and he wanted to make the park a place where researchers and interested members of the public and animal lovers could all come and enjoy animals, and he wanted to raise the animals in such a way that being in captivity was not a bad experience, but one that offered them things, if not the same opportunities they would have in the wild, still worthwhile opportunities, so they could have a good life, use their behavior repertoires in natural or equivalent contexts to what they would be doing in the wild. And a lot of us got caught up in that dream, and we're still trying to keep it going and make it come true.
The park is currently home to 10 wolves and several other species, including red and gray foxes, coyotes, and bison. Visit wolfpark.org for more. We'll be right back.
And with Uverse, you can move your TV anywhere in the house.
We're happy with Xfinity. Why would we move the TV?
I don't know, but let me show you. Now, if you had the Uverse wireless receiver, you could take this anywhere.
See? Anywhere you want.
Don't get duped by Uverse. Get the most entertainment on any device anywhere with Xfinity from Comcast.
How's it going? Nice to meet you guys. I have these 2 laptops. We're gonna each download a TV show. I'm gonna download it on Xfinity, and you guys are gonna download it with AT&T Uverse, and we're gonna see who goes faster. Go.
Well, this is a no-brainer so far.
How's AT&T doing?
Struggling.
I'm ready to go. We'll wait for you guys.
Looks like we're gonna be waiting for a while.
Don't let Uverse slow you down. Upgrade to an Xfinity X1 Triple Play from Comcast and save when you bundle. See for yourself. Call 1-800-XFINITY or visit Comcast.com today.
Wood Innovative Group LLC, video and multimedia production, single camera, multi-camera, live, post edit, everything. Click wigtv.com.
If Usain Bolt represents Xfinity Internet, what happens when we double the speed on 2 of our most popular plans? Meet his twice as fast brother, Insane Bolt. Now stream movies and shows twice as fast. Xfinity, the fastest just got faster.
Thank you for joining me on our journey through the city of West Lafayette. I hope you've learned something new or reignited your appreciation and curiosity of this West Central Indiana destination. Whether you are inventive, have a big appetite, love the animals, or just want to chase your dreams, West Lafayette can accommodate. Be sure to get out and see it for yourself. Visit Lafayette West Lafayette is the perfect place to start when planning a trip. Here are some other exciting things to mark on your calendar year over year. Still not convinced? Don't take my word for it.
Well, I'm introverted, and I still like talking to the people, so that's cool. There's tons of different stories here, a wide range, so it's definitely the people that makes it very interesting, as opposed to most places where everyone's kind of submitting to the general norm. It's not like that here. Everyone kind of thrives on each other's differences, so it's pretty cool.
I was born and raised here, and I love this community.
I think as well, the strength that West Lafayette shows thanks to Purdue is an interest in healthful living. So we see trails, you see the beautiful facilities all around town that promote wellness.
Live music to see, good friends, good family, and a good time.
I'm Taylor Whitaker for Indiana Edge. See you in the next city.